Good evening. Can everyone hear me? Are we good?
Can you hear?
Is this any better?
Is that better?
Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, people who are talking. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. So good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us at our monthly speaker series presentation. Our program for tonight is Stories of Heritage, Home, and Hammonton. We come together to celebrate the voices that are such an important part of Hammonton's history and our community. I'm excited to introduce Jim Bacon as this evening's moderator, as he was the one instrumental in helping put this panel together. Born in Peru and raised here in Hammonton, Jim graduated from Hammonton High, built a successful career as a VP at TD Bank, and is also a published poet, business owner, and community advocate. He brings professional and personal insight to guide tonight's conversations. We're also joined by these three incredible women, each with a powerful story of perseverance, identity, and community. Together, their experiences reflect the diverse journeys that make Hammonton such an amazing place to live. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to Jim Bacon, and we'll get our program started.
Thank you very much, Laly. I want to take the opportunity to thank for this type of events, for the conversations that we're about to have. This is what I think makes any community a better place, just to be able to connect. So I appreciate Eileen for reaching out, for the opportunity. I appreciate the Historical Society for letting us sit in front of you and tell us a little bit about ourselves. As Eileen mentioned, I was born in Peru and I came to Hammonton. This is the town I arrived when I came, and it's when I brought my family to raise my children. So I'm thankful for the community that we have here, and in doing that, I have gathered, or I have connected with other people of the Hispanic community. And I want to call out that they are part of the Hispanic community and also the Hammonton community. We will be celebrating historical heritage starting September 15, and it's an opportunity to connect and to learn of everyone. So I thought this will be a great opportunity to introduce you to three wonderful women that have all different stories. They have arrived to Hammonton in different ways at different times. So I think it will be really interesting to hear different perspectives. Okay, so to my far right is Laly Acosta. She is also from Peru, and as if you can't tell by what she's wearing, she's the chef. She recently, actually 1 year ago, September 2024, opened the first Peruvian restaurant in Hammonton. And I say the first because I hope there will be more. Okay, and she has been in Hammonton obviously for that 1 year. And we'll learn a little bit more about her. Next to her is Kelin Jimenez. She is from Honduras. Let me say, Peru is in South America, Honduras is in Central America. She has gone to a school here in town. She's done a lot of stuff, but lately was supporting our Main Street program as social media coordinator, social media manager. It was a lot of stuff that she helped us put together, and that has helped us promote our downtown area. To my left, many may know her. Corina has been around Hammonton for a long time. She started working in Fiesta Mexicana. And Fiesta Mexicana, for those of you who know, it's been open for like 25 years. It was the first Mexican restaurant, which is wonderful to have somebody that was 25 years ago opening the first Mexican restaurant in town, and have somebody that just opened the first Peruvian restaurant also. I tell Kelin that she'll be the one opening the first Honduran restaurant in Hammonton. So we get a different taste in town. So Corina also has raised a family here, and she currently is a hygienist and a realtor. Okay? So that's just high-level overview of a little bit about themselves. But we'll get this, and we wanted to make it conversational. Okay? So we want to have a conversation I'm gonna have some general questions to them. They're gonna share a little bit more about themselves. And we wanna, let you ask questions as well. So feel free to raise your hands, or we'll be happy to answer them. We'll get started with first question, and we'll start with Laly first. The question is, what do you do here? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Good night, everyone. My name is Laly Acosta. I'm from Peru. I have been living in New Jersey since 2010. So when I come here for first time, it was because I was looking for a place next to where I live. It was in Galloway. So I was thinking to open a small business, food business, restaurant, something small. So I know Kelin Jim for years. He was my friend because I always sold food, Peruvian food, from my house. So when I saw him and I was thinking to open a restaurant, he told me about the place they were available here in Hammonton. It was a little far for me in that moment. I say, oh, it's a little far, but let me check. When I come here and I arrived to first time at Hammonton, I fell in love with the town. It's beautiful, and when I saw the place, I yes, I will be here. That's why. It was almost 2 years ago when I started the project. So I opened last year, September 2024, and I already have a year here, and I'm very happy because people from Hammonton is trying new food, new flavors, and that's a little bit part of my hair. So when I saw people say, "Oh, this food is good," that's new for many people, but they accepted this as well. So thank you for having me here, and I'm very thankful for many people here because they help me a lot. So downtown Hammonton, downtown Hammonton, they help me a lot during the process. And I know many people here. Linda Castiano was very helpful with me when I saw her for the first time. They opened her doors for me at Kitchen 19 when I did my first testing menu. It was nice for me be in this town, and I just think I would like to be here for years. I talk later for more.
Your turn, Kelin. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what do you do here in Hammonton?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Kelin Jimenez, and I came to Hammonton at the age of 13 in 2004. And what do? I'm a social impact marketer, so I promote a lot of like what nonprofit organizations do, which is what I was doing with Downtown Hammonton, and what I've done for years. Since I graduated fresh out of college, I worked for organizations like Southern Jersey Family Medical Centers. I have worked and currently am assistant to Allies in Caring with their grant writing to promote and to get funding for the program and to support underserved communities. That's what I do, and that's where my passion lies. And he has always brought me to places where I've met wonderful people. I also taught in the Hammonton School District because I was blessed and with the opportunities to get two undergraduate degrees, one in marketing and business administration and the other one in Spanish. So I was teaching Spanish for some time as well here. And well, my migration journey didn't start there. Actually, it started with my grandfather when he came in the 1980s to Fresno, California, and he was a migrant farm worker. So he followed the harvest, and when you follow the harvest, you don't miss Hammonton, New Jersey, right? You stop here for the blueberry season. So he stopped here, but it was not until the until the 1990s, early actually, 1990s that he decided to plant our family roots here in Hammonton. He fell in love with Hammonton as well. And I do remember him telling me that his first job was at the White Horse Farm. That's where he first started working. Then he did many other jobs, and he ended up establishing a construction company. He's retired now, but that's how our family ended up here. Then my mom came, and later on I came in 2004. So that's me. About personally, well, aside from work and my journey here, I'm all about family. I have a son who's 6 years old. His name is Caleb. So a lot of what you can catch us doing is running around to like his soccer games. He does martial arts, and or we go to the local Hispanic church. He's a lot into like the drama club and things like that. So in fact, that's what my husband right now is doing with my son. He's like running around in his soccer practice. And we volunteer in many different capacities in the community, like with downtown, and we're here now. So
And the family's growing?
and we're a growing family, as you can tell, right? I don't need to say that because it's obvious, but yeah, here I am.
Thank you very much, Kelly. Now I'll pass it on to my dearest friend, Corina.
Hello everyone, my name is Corina Mendoza and I'm originally from Mexico. I came to the United States in 1995. My parents brought me to the States when I was around 14 years old, and my dad is an agricultural engineer, and he had heard of New Jersey because, you know, it's the Garden State. And him being the agricultural engineer that he was, or that he is, he's still alive, but he never really got to practice engineering here in the States. He was following the harvest the same as other immigrants. So we first arrived to Florida, and then we drove to New Jersey looking for the blueberries. We knew no one, we had no family, and I remember arriving to the Pike, and we just drove back and forth, and we had no direction, nowhere to go. And I remember back in the day, there was a Super Fresh, and so we stopped at Super Fresh. We bought some meat, some lunch meat, and some bread, and we made some sandwiches, and we ate. And then I don't know what my dad was looking for, but we found someone that spoke Spanish, and we asked him about jobs, and he told us that he knew someone that was renting a house. So he took us to this place, and it was, now I know it's in Buena. So we rented a house there. I started school at Buena Vista, and that's when I started high school. I worked numerous jobs in the area. I was very close to Hammonton all the time because we worked at the blueberry packing house every summer. The Atlantic Blueberry, I don't even know if it's still the same name, but it was the Galeras family. And I worked at another farm. It was the Panelists farm with Mr. DeFicio. And then I worked at Walmart as a cashier, and I also started working. I met the Castañeda family. It's the family that owns Fiesta Mexicana, and I know Miss Angela Donia here was very good friends with Noe, and she probably doesn't remember me. I was a teenager, and sometimes when my boss from Fiesta Mexicana would go away to Mexico, he would leave for months. I would be in charge as a teenager of the restaurant. I don't know what they were thinking, but I would be in charge of, running the place, and I would pay you rent when you own that corner. And I remember, and then you sold it to Mr. Castañeda. But so I met wonderful people there. Some people that I could remember from here that I met there, and a lot of times in town I bump into people and they recognize my face, but they just can't place me. And I'm like, you probably know me from Fiesta, because I worked there for many, many years. I finished high school. My dad was very strict, and so when I came, it was back in 1995, and when I arrived to BUNA, they had no bilingual program. I guess they had the program for younger kids, but not for high schoolers. And so I was just lost. I remember translating the assignments, and it would take me hours, and it would be really late at night, and I just finished translating all the assignments because we brought a big dictionary from Mexico, and that's what I had. And but it helped me because I learned English in like 2 months. I had no choice, and I graduated top of my 20% top of my class. Unfortunately, because of my immigration status, I had to turn down a full scholarship to Penn State University. Immigration, it's a whole other topic. It takes forever. In my case, it took about 12, 13 years for everything to get approved. And as soon as I got approved, I was already a mom. By the way, I'm married. I have 3 kids and a German Shepherd dog. We live in Hammonton now. I always look longer for Hammonton. I don't know why. I heard something. Someone said that if you drink water from Hammonton, you never leave. And so I don't know if that's true, but here I am, over 30 years later. And so as soon as I got my immigration permit approved, I registered myself in the community college, and I started my journey to become a registered dental hygienist. At the time, I was in my early 30s. I think I was 31, a mom of 3 young boys, and finished the program. And I've been practicing, as a hygienist since then. About 3 years ago, my neighbor is Joe Wiesner. You probably know him from Joe Wiesner Realty. And he always joked around and said I had a great personality to become a realtor. And so I took his word for it, and I enrolled in the program, and I got my license and became a realtor. I love helping people, and I always saw that there was a big need for Hispanics to obtain their home. A lot of people still don't own their home, and one of my biggest accomplishments was when I helped this older gentleman. He was around 70 years old from El Salvador. I don't know how he found me, but he found me, and he wanted a house. And I said, yeah, sure, give me your phone number, your email, we'll get in touch. And then he said, I don't read or write. So I was like, okay. So it became my goal to get him a house, and he has a home now, and it was a little challenging, everything. He just trusted me, and I really just told him what it said, and it was just, I would have to drive to his house and tell them everything, and it was no other communication. But he obtained his home, so I was very proud of that, and I really enjoy what I do. I got it kind of short, I'm sorry, but that's me in a short.
Thank you very much, Corina. And just from the little that you have heard, you can see there is maybe some common themes among the stories. First, if you drink Hammonton water, you stay in Hammonton. So sorry, Laly. Next, you'll be buying a house with Corina. Yeah, so the stories are very different, but they have that commonality that you come in Hammonton, and it's I don't know, it's not the buildings, it's not the streets, it's the people. If you recall, Laly mentioned a couple of names that were very helpful. I know that her landlord helped her out as well. Mrs. Linda Casciano, Mrs. Kelly Donio stepping in and just being there and being that support, that somebody that comes from outside. Same story with Corina, right? No one speaking Spanish, but was able to find somebody, and her neighbor, Mr. Joe Wisner, finding talent in her and just opening that opportunity for her to become a realtor, to help, again, the Hispanic community. So I think it's a great town, and like I said, I don't think the buildings is what makes this town a great place. We have great buildings, but the people and the culture and this same opportunity, just being able to come here and have a conversation and tell you a little bit about ourselves and how we are contributing from the Hispanic community to make Hammonton a good place for our kids, our families, and for everybody that's around. So I'm gonna go into, we already kind of touched a little bit on how they arrived to Hammonton, and you heard that. So wanted to ask the ladies, how have you seen Hammonton change over time, which I think is a very important question. There were some things that remain the same, but they have seen it from the 90s to early 2000s, and Laly just recently last year. So I'm gonna give you 3 minutes, Corina, to tell us how you saw Hammonton back when you arrived.
Hello again. So I think it's very different, but very the same. So like I said, a lot of the businesses that I remember when I first arrived are longer gone. However, there's a lot of new businesses. A lot of Hispanics have opened up different restaurants, especially. And I think it's just the presence. I think it's just natural to be afraid of, something that the unknown, somewhat, people that you don't know. I feel like when I first arrived, a lot of times maybe people were a little more hesitant to get to know other people that were different. And I feel like now people are more friendlier. You feel more welcome. The schools, I mean, of course, I tell my kids and I tell a lot of the younger generations how lucky they are for having all the different programs, for bilingual students. But I think just also like the presence, like I said before, like the different programs, like the parades in town, how they incorporate now a lot of the Hispanic culture and the different events at school, how they have the bilingual programs for everybody to be included. I remember, and I don't want to be soppy and be super sad about different things, because all the experiences that I have molded me into the person that I am. But I remember I got chosen to go to a program in the summer of my junior year, and I went to Reiner University, and it was a couple weeks program, and all the kids will get a call for their parents. But my parents were so poor that we had no phone, and so we will get a certain amount of time, and to make a call, to call your parents. And I just faked I pretended to call my parents, and whatever time I got, because my parents had no phone and there was no way for me to communicate with them, and so it has gotten so much better. Kids have no idea how good they have it and how good this town is, how welcoming it is now, and it was probably the same before. It was just, like I said, it's the unknown, and it's just so much easier for now, with technology and to get to know and everybody. But I'm just very fortunate and very honored to be part and to call myself a Hammontonian, after so many years. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kelly. Now we're here in the perspective from Kelin, and Laly, you can tell us in the 1 year how much Hammonton has changed.
I remember us meeting with Corina and Laly and Jim before we, for this day, and I remember talking about how she said that there was no ESL program when she came. And in 2004, when I came, actually, that's one of the changes that I love seeing, because there was an ESL program. And thanks to one of the wonderful teachers, many of you might know her, Miss Esposito, Linda Esposito, I became the first generation to like go to college and get 2 undergraduate degrees and then a master's later on because of her guidance and support. So like I met wonderful people and there was a wonderful program. I mean, it was still scary. I still remember getting in the bus, and to me, speak like this, English, it was a dream because it was like mainly noise, what I would hear, right? When you hear someone else speaking in a different language, it doesn't make sense to you. So I remember this 13-year-old getting in the bus. I was supposed to go, because it was like towards the end of middle school for me, and I was supposed to go to the middle school, and I ended up in the high school, and in the bus. And I was so scared because I said, okay, where am I supposed to go? This is school, but everybody was telling me things I didn't understand. Somehow I made it home that day. But yeah, it was scary. And then I wasn't also prepared for the weather. I do remember wearing a really light jacket, thinking the cold was like the cold in a tropical country like Honduras, right? It wasn't that way, let me tell you. My curls froze open. I was just shaking when I got home. But that's one of the changes that I love seeing now, all the programs that are for the students. I do still think that there's more that can be done, but I am grateful for the progress that has been made. Also, seeing people like Laly, like Hispanic business owners in the downtown business district for me, also it's a change that I love seeing, because I don't only think it's a wonderful thing to come and get a little taste of home, but also I think it's inspirational for like new generations to come to know that, hey, Laly did it, I can do it too, right? So that's another change that I love seeing. And little things like during Hispanic Heritage Month, seeing the flags of our countries, like all throughout downtown, you will think that's like something minor, but for us, I think it sends a strong message. And what the Hammonton Health Coalition did was great, because it's telling us that Hammonton is not just a place that you can live in, but a town that you can actually belong to. So it gives you a sense of belonging. So little things like that, I love seeing, and I'm really hopeful that I will see more, and that, that we can also be part of that change.
Great.
Okay, I don't have too much say about the changes, but what I see in this first year here is many activities for families, children, and I trust me, I never went an event like food trucks. I learned here in Hammonton when I came the first time, they do this kind of events, and after that I realized that many other cities do that, but it was my first experience here. And touch a truck, it was nice. I met Kelly Donio that day. She was very nice with me, and I wear a chicken costume, but that day the kids were crazy with that. It was nice. My first year here as experience is very nice, because I learned more about activities. We did our first restaurant week this year, so I hope next year we can do the second one. So it was nice because my restaurant was new, and we did the restaurant week in February. It was nice experience, and people loved the menus and the opportunity to try many things in different restaurants with fixed price or something special, right? So I think many changes will come, but I'm very happy to be here and learn more about the town, because I think the town is very unique, right? The community, they help each other, and I think that one is very, very valuable for many people. That's what I have to say, because I know how it was before, but for me, this first year was exciting.
Thank you very much. And it was, I have to share that, I know many people in the Hispanic community, they do great things. And when I was looking through the list, Eileen reached out and said, like, can you get some people to bring here? I thought of bringing 3 different countries, 3 different perspectives, 3 different type of business or profession that they do, just to showcase out there that, you know, we all bring something. Just to think of the courage you need to start a business, to go to school, to be the first one to get 2 degrees and a master's, like Kelin have done. There are many other out there, and what I love about the town is that it allows that to happen. I usually tell the story of another Hispanic member of the community that I have the utmost respect. I probably haven't told him this, but I hope that he gets to see it or hear it from somebody. His name is Amador Marquez. This is a person that started working in a kitchen, doesn't speak much English, doesn't know much of like accounting or business or anything, but he loves to cook. And he got to be a cook and got to open his first restaurant thanks to a lot of the help that Cassie provided when she was executive director. And then he has opened, 2 more businesses. He has 2 restaurants in town and a meat place. You probably know Marquez Grill, Marquez Restaurant and Bar, and the Marquez Meats. And it's so amazing to see somebody that comes with that courage. And I think many of those people that are here doing great things, not just in the Hispanic community, but throughout the town, from every angle that you see it, is somebody that has that courage to raise their hand and say, I want to do something good. I want to help. I want to be part of a volunteer group. I want to be part of this event. I want to join and start conversations about the history of Hammonton. I want to be in the festival and celebrate 150 years of an Italian festival, the longest festival in the country, Italian festival in the country. So when I think of the people that I selected for this conversation, I hope that you get a little bit of that taste, that these are people that are doing something great, not just for themselves or their families, it's for the town, because they love the town and they love to belong here. I think you said it really well. Gives you that sense of belonging in the town. And I have felt the same thing. I want to share that perspective. I also went to Hammonton High School here. And when I arrived in 2001, you remember, we were going to celebrate 24 years, not celebrate, but remember the 9/11 event tomorrow. And that was one of the first shocking events that happened to me when I was in high school. I, just like Kelin at the beginning, did not understand much of what's going on, but I remember seeing the TVs in the high school, and we were at lunch, and all you see is the buildings and the smoke coming, and everybody was shocked. Some people crying, some people, not trying to do much other than pay attention, and I was lost. I was later until my ESL teacher, Mrs. Linda Esposito, told us what had happened in Spanish, that you realize this is something, unfortunately, we don't get to be so close. I was in America, I was in another country, another language, another different setting of high school. Is completely different in Peru and in other Hispanic countries, and it was just to be one of the first things that I experienced. It was really, really dramatic. But that was the first year. Luckily, there was an ESL program. There was support. I think I always did great in school back in Peru, and it helped me I had the knowledge, I just didn't have the language. But I was able to participate in classes and graduate, and with the help and support of my teachers, go to college. I was also the first generation that went to college, and later on I also got my master's degree. And like I mentioned at the beginning, when I decided to raise my family, I have left Hammonton for 12 years. I said, if I'm gonna raise my family, it's gotta be in Hammonton, because I never felt like that in other places where I was living. And I'm so glad I came back, and I'm so glad that I ran into so many great people in town that I now get to call my friends, and that I see around in many different events and opportunities to contribute to this town. So I wanna ask one more question to these ladies, and they can share. We prepared for this conversation, but they did not prepare for this question. This is the one that they'll get to share from the heart. And I want to ask, what makes you feel proud? And I know this, they feel proud about being in Hammonton. What makes you proud of being here in Hammonton?
Thank you, Jim. Thank you for that question. I actually wanted to add on, one of my biggest accomplishments in life is they're my kids. I have 3 sons, and they're great students, of course. I mean, but my firstborn he's 20 years old, and he graduated third in his class, and he was a student athlete. He had 9 varsity letters, and he now is studying engineering at the University of Notre Dame with a full ride. Yes. Thank you. And my second one is top 10th of his class right now. He's a senior, so we're working really hard right now. It's application time. And you know, my youngest one is a sophomore in high school, and he's also, you know, taking AP classes and doubling in math in his freshman year. And you know, they play sports. They played over the years. They played with the Bulldogs for basketball in town, for the Hawks a year, for the Hammonton Heat, the travel teams, and so they're really well-rounded kids, and that's one of my proudest, you know, personal things. And I think we're very lucky here in town because we have a great school system. The schools are great, and we're very fortunate. I'm very thankful for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Corina. Thank you, Kelly.
That makes you proud to be in Hammonton. Yeah, I didn't prepare for this one. But it's not hard to think of things though. What makes me proud to be in Hammonton, I think one of them is that I am in a community that I feel safe, that I can also be able to raise my family in a community that I can go for a morning walk with my grandmother, where I'm normally doing because I can't do more. But I feel safe walking around in the mornings. I see people that I know, and you know, it's I think some things that we might take for granted, but not a lot of people, you know, get to say that, and I can say that. Also, to have come so far, I think that you don't think about it so much until moments like this, when you kind of like reflect back on your life. And when I think about the barriers that I encountered, the obstacles along the way, but I think about my son now, or think about, because I'm the oldest of 3 siblings, I think about my brother and sister, how like I got to go to college, and yeah, it was a little more difficult for me, but it's a lot better for my brother and sister, and I'm so grateful for that. My brother did great as well. Like he's also going to school at Rowan University. He's starting right now in the program of mechanical engineering, and also my sister is in her last year to finish her undergraduate in psychology. And so and to think about how my parents had it, how I had it, and now how my brother and sister are doing. And now my son is even starting early because he's doing so much more. He's involved in so many extracurriculars, and that maybe my brother and sister didn't get to do. So to see each generation advance makes me really proud to say I am in a town which, provides for the environment to do that.
So what can I say? Of course, I'm being proud about to be the first Peruvian restaurant open in this town. So I can be more proud of that. It was my first restaurant, and it is the first in Hammonton, first Peruvian restaurant. So you can know now a little bit more about Peruvian food. So it's a piece of my heart living here in Hammonton, which is downtown Peru. That's why the name Downtown Peru, because it's in the middle of downtown. Peru is a little bit there. So I'm being proud to be here because the town, more time I spend here, more time I love the town. That's the only thing I can say.
So now I would like to share, one of the things that makes me proud to be here. And my wife, you met her last year. We had a conversation. She lived in Edison. That's where I met her, and that's where I had to drive every Saturday when we were dating. But it was worth it. I will drive to the moon for her now. It's we just celebrated 8 years of being married, and when we had the conversation about where we're gonna live, and I told her Hammonton, she felt it was so far from where she was, right? So far and like different from Edison, like north or central, I don't know where it is in the map, central New Jersey, North Jersey. But, and it was difficult to convince her to come here. Obviously I have my family here, my friends, I went to high school, I knew the town very well. It was an easy decision for me, and I'm proud to say that we've been here since 2018. It's now 2025, so 7 years later. That my wife, I'm so proud to hear her conversations about what she's doing, how she's now on her own becoming involved in different things in town. It was easy for me because I was here, but now she is proud to say that she lives in Hammonton. She's proud to invite people and friends over to Hammonton and let them know how wonderful the town is. She's proud of having her poem published on the Art Walk by Castellanos and Anata, and it's in Spanish and English. She's proud to have her third book published and delivered here in town. We had it an book opening here just a few months ago, and one back a couple of years ago at Kramer Hall. So I think that's the biggest thing for me, to have a town that have welcomed her with open arms, that values her talents. She, as you know, she has a cleaning business in town that she keeps getting referrals left and right. That she's going nuts sometimes. But it's all thanks to the people in town, how great they are, how they all share the good things, and I think her cleaning business is doing well because of that. So that is great, just to see that, and I know my kids and my children will have great opportunities, just like Corina's children have, like your brother and sister, and anybody that comes in here. Just because we have the culture of being open and supporting each other that I love. If you think about how many of our heritage started, there was courage to come to an unknown land, from Sicily, from places in Italy, taking, that trip over to a farm and started working there. I think it is the same for some of the stories that we have. So it takes courage. And I think with that courage comes a lot of great values that were instilled in each of us. And that's what I love. that we are continue to pass it on to the next generations. And I hope we have, I don't know, 250 years of the Italian festival, and we start also another festival for the Hispanic community, and whoever wants to join and continue to do great things, like all the people here that have gathered, we'll have another festival and we'll all celebrate together, because that's another thing that we all love to do, is celebrating. So with that, I want to close it. I hope you gathered a little bit about our stories and how we are incorporated in the community and we're contributing. I'm going to open it up. I think we still have some time, but if anybody has questions, please ask them. Yes.
It's not personal, so you don't have to answer it, but your last name does not sound Peruvian.
So just because we're on video, I'm going to answer with another story. I get it all the time, and my full name is Jim Paul Bacon, and I used to be a financial advisor and go into people's houses, and I set up the appointment with that name, right? You're going to see the financial advisor Jim Bacon, and then I show up, and all I see is let's go, like, wait a second. So somebody, I don't know, from England or from the US migrated decades ago, generations ago to Peru. There was migrations of all kinds to Peru for different reasons, and I think that's where my last name started. Yes. And I know it's not Hispanic either, so I get it. I swear I'm from Peru. Any other questions? Yes.
Just want to ask you, is there only one Spanish church on Peru?
No, actually, there's multiple churches in town.
Which one are you at?
I am the one in North Shore Road. It's called El Consolador. It has a Hispanic name, but it's right on North Shore Road.
Right off the gas station, Conoco gas station.
Yeah, it's a small church, so that's probably why you haven't heard of it. And it's not like on Central; it's like a little off Central. So.
Yes, go ahead.
I don't really have a question, but I want to say that it's an honor for us, I think. I'm also an import to Hammonton, but at least I speak the language and I've lived in this country my whole life. But to go to your businesses, I've eaten at your Peruvian restaurant, I didn't know what it was, how nice people were to explain what the different things were, and the privilege to be able to try that food. I've gone to the butcher in town and he's told me it's different cuts than we're used to.
Yeah.
But so wonderful to explain to you what, they do and how you can do different things. The support that you give back to the town is kind of like an honor to the town. I feel like you've opened doors that, I wouldn't have known that. And so you've opened eyes to be able to try different things and to see different things and are very accepting of us, just like we're a little nervous. You're a little nervous, brother? I don't speak any Spanish. I actually have been to some Spanish churches, and I will say that it's interesting and it's wonderful to be able to see a cultural difference. And we might be a little town, but it's all around us, and it's really a privilege.
Yes, thank you for those words. Yeah, I appreciate it. Being from Peru, I have pride for the Peruvian food. Many people around here don't know, but if you go just to New York, they love Peruvian food, and Peruvian food around the world is just compared to like French cuisine up there with top. Actually, the best restaurant in the world is in Lima, Peru. And that is, a very objective selection. I didn't pick Yes, but I'm very proud. When I convinced Laly to come over to Hammonton, I knew, we have a lot of Italian restaurants, and we have a lot of Mexican restaurants that I love and I eat and everything. But it's like just adding a little bit of variety, will just makes everything better. And if you have not tried Peruvian food yet, just go on Google it, and Laly opens tomorrow at 11 a.m. Any other questions? Yes.
How do you balance wanting to, and I just can't imagine the challenges that you had coming and not knowing the language. I feel like such a slacker, like trying to go through my own educational journey, but how do you balance for your families wanting to assimilate to being a Hammontonian, but yet maintaining your culture for your children, for your family?
I think it's questions for all of us, and we can all share a little bit.
How do you balance? I think you just don't think about it. You just do it. Yeah. I don't have an answer. I just wanted to add something real quick. I was surprised by my little brother. He's here. He came to watch me. Hi, Raul. My parents are away, and my husband was at work, and my kids had activities, and my other son is away at college. So Jim told me that I could invite people to come and hear my story, and then and he showed up. I didn't know how he found out. Thanks, Rolf. I'm very proud of him. He's my youngest. He was born here after we came, and he also got an education. He graduated from Temple a few years back with a business degree, and I also have another sister. My sister also has a degree of marketing from Rutgers University. So my brothers, even though they're American citizens that were born here, they have done really well for themselves too. So I'm very proud of them too. I just wanted to add that. Thank you.
Just to make sure that I got that question right, is how you balance my culture and my heritage and me assimilating some of it. I think so. Corina is right. Sometimes I don't think about it, but sometimes I do, and they're pretty strong about some things. My kids all speak Spanish, and I thank my wife, and I thank my parents, because they don't speak English, so they can only talk to the kids in Spanish, so it's kind of forced into them, right? And I know what I went through in my country, and what my parents did, how hard they work, and the leap of faith they had to take to come into another country. That I kind of always share to my kids that story. I let them know, we are here, you have this opportunity. We were just having this conversation just the other night. You have the opportunity to go to dance classes, to go to karate. Guess what? Mom and dad did not have that opportunity. And value what you have. I know telling them might not do much, but at least they're aware somehow. But at the same time, I do want to provide those opportunities for them. So it's kind of like a balancing, because I truly believe that tough scenarios or tough experiences make you a better, stronger person. Sometimes I make it difficult for my kids on purpose.
So I might be an outlier because I do think about it. I do think about it. For instance, when raising my son, I made it a point to speak to him only in Spanish when he was learning how to speak. Because I knew that as soon as he went to school, he was going to learn English. And I did not want him to forget Spanish. So in our house, while he's home, we speak Spanish to him. And when we're studying, that's when it's all English. And in school, it's all English. We also make it a point to visit our homeland once a year, so that he can, when he talks to grandma, or he talks to his cousins from back in Honduras, he can connect with them. And he enjoys it. Like when he goes there, people are surprised because he seems like he's been born and raised in Honduras. And other family traditions that we try to keep alive. And maybe you think about it. If you don't hear me speaking, you probably do the same. But for us, it's important to break the bread together. So as a family, like, we gather, every other Sunday and make, our traditional recipes. Like today I was making homemade tortillas, right? And my son loves, our food. But of course, at the same time, I tried to teach him that it's important to be involved, to be playing soccer with the community kids, to be doing things, because he's also a citizen of the United States. So I try to kind of bring out and highlight to him like the best of the both worlds, and kind of help him see the positive perspective of that this differences actually don't make him less, actually enrich like his experience and perspective. So yeah, I do kind of think about it.
That part, it was the biggest or the more hardest part to learn a second language as an adult was very, very hard for me. So when I come here, I was 33 years old. My daughter was 10. She went to school and she just have 6 months on ESL program and she no need anymore. So I was so proud, but it was hard for me learning a second language. So when I come here, I started to work as a housekeeping for 6 years due to the language. I didn't speak any English. So one friend applied for me for a housekeeping and I started to work as a housekeeping for 6 years. After that, when my daughter finished school and she finished the high school and she started to study a small career because she is a skincare specialist. I'm started to learn English as my ESL program at 43 years old. So it was hard for me, 2 years. I took 2 years ESL program, and after that, I'm applied for culinary school. It was very hard, but I'm really proud of me because it was hard. My daughter, I try to conserve my daughter's skin always. You have to speak two languages because she born in Peru. She come here at 10 years old. She speak perfect Spanish, and now she speak perfect English too. So I always told her, you are 2 times value because you speak 2 languages. So that's the only thing I try to keep my culture. But I always say, this country gave me much more what I want and this what I dream. So, but I think it's I'm proud of me because I work hard for that. So I think it pays off someday. So I'm very proud to be here and learn new language, and I try to speak my best I can, the best I can. But every day I have to learn something else. Thank you.
Any other last questions? I think we have just a few more minutes. If none, I want to thank you. Oh, one more question.
I want to say, no
Yeah.
need to ask about the Spanish church, because these 2 times went to one this past summer. The Spanish AG church, and we really loved it. The people were as warm as can be, the music was great, so diversify that.
Yeah, I know, and like when you think about how Hammonton's changed and like the different heritages that have come, and to me, I've been here since 2018, been back since 2018. I have seen a lot more people coming into our town and bringing that energy. I know at first we're Mexicans, then Central American, then Peruvian, Honduras, that her church is mostly from Honduras. I have seen, now people from Colombia joining, and they're joining clubs and helping here and doing that. I've seen a few people from Argentina, which is pretty South America, from Venezuela, which is great. I think everybody will bring the story, and if they find what we found, we will continue to do great things here in town. So again, Eileen, thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you to the Historical Society for also opening the doors for this conversation, and I hope you learn a little bit about, a little bit about Hispanic community contributors here in Hammonton.